Good morning. It is the 24th of July, Monday, 8 a.m. New York time, and I'm just going to cover the basket I'm using at the moment for flow scalping. Very, very trendy environment at the moment, so I've moved away from the mean reversion for now. And we see here on the British pound on the daily, we sold off here at 32 down to 28. Okay, into this area here where the demand zone is, and push back to the upside. I dare say it's probably going to sell off further down here into the bottom of the ribbon, down to 26, okay, and then push back to the upside. So very strong sell-off here on the British pound after the CPI release earlier this week, the British CPI, and I'm just going to see a continuation, maybe a little pullback here and a continuation down to 126. That's what I'm aiming for. So the Nasdaq, very strong as well. We had some strength here. If we just quickly look at the DXY, the dollar index here, we've had this massive sell-off, and then we've been bullish back up to this area of supply now, where we could get some sell-off. Okay, there's a strong area of supply here, and we could continue our sell-off against the dollar. In that case, we'll see a possible push back to the upside here, but very strong on the index, on the Nasdaq. Okay, but when we go to the lower time frame, we'll see that there's some selling to be had still, pushing back down to this area here of demand. I dare say it's going to get back down to 15,000. So looking at that, US 30, very strong. Finally had the breakout on Tuesday last week through 35,000, through this area of supply that we've been looking at since August 22nd. And targeting this second area of supply here, which we've reached to now. It's been a very strong push. I guess it's going to hold in this area. We might get a bounce back here, but it seems like a very strong push to the upside. So not going to be surprised if I see it pierce this area, at least up to this area of supply here, 35,800. Okay, so that's what it's looking like on US 30, and definitely no mean reversion at the moment on US 30. We're just flow scalping even US 30 right now. Let's look at gold. Gold. We saw the push out through the area, through the downtrend that we had on the daily, push through here, and still above the ribbon, holding at this area, and likelihood that we're going to continue to push up towards 2,050 again and break all-time highs. Oil bullish, okay, held here at the bottom 72, pushing through 80. We balanced the Saudis' books here at 80. And they said that they needed the gold to come to 80 to balance the GDP and balance the debt, and we've reached that target now. It's still very bullish here on the daily time frame, and I guess they would see a push up to 88. So coming out of this pullback here, when we go to the lower time frame, we'll see that pound JPY, very strong push to the upside. It's coming out of that at the moment. A bit of bearishness, I dare say. We're going to at least get a pullback down to this area of the ribbon here, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot of exhaustion here on the British pound, JPY at the moment, and pound AUD. Okay, again, pullback, not hasn't been as bullish as pound JPY. We're pulling back now to this area, 189. Okay, so could spell another kick up to the upside shortly. Okay, still very bullish on the daily. Pound is bullish. Pound is strong against pound, the other currencies, against Japanese yen and the AUD. Okay, I have added Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm very excited to trade these with the flow scalping. As we look at the daily here, we're hovering around 30,000. We did push up to 30,000 here on the 13th of July. We had another massive push. We've had big pushes on the Ripple news that came out on the 13th of July. Was the absolute height that we reached here at 32,000-ish on the 13th of July. But we seem to be selling off at the moment here. So we're obviously in a uptrend on British pound, on Bitcoin, a strong uptrend on Bitcoin at the moment. Relatively strong, nothing like we were seeing back in 21. But coming into serious resistance zones here, supply zones, in major supply zone at the moment, sitting at 30,000. So we'll see what happens. I'm not, I'm holding my tongue. I'm not expecting an extreme smash to the upside. I dare say price is going to bounce back down and work this range for this foreseeable future until we see a very strong push up. But if it does push out through here, the next floor is around 35,000 in this area here. So that's the ceiling. Sorry, the next ceiling is around 35,000. So we'll see what happens. But there's some really nice movements on Bitcoin, Ethereum as well, sitting at 1800 and 19,000. Sorry, 1900, 1800. Okay, pitter pattering out, hitting the supply zone. There's wall here at 2000 at the moment, holding on the ceiling. And we'll see it probably work this range between 1,000 and 2,000 for the foreseeable future until we get a kick to the upside, until the season is back, as they say. But if it does clear above 2,000 here, we've got a massive area of imbalance that we can push up through. So that's the high time frame analysis. I'm going to go to lower time frame flow scalping for a second, and just look at what I'm looking at for this session. Oil has been breaking out. It's pulled back, but indicative of an uptrend at the moment. Pushed up, pulled back. And I dare say I'm going to see some kind of kick to the upside during the session here, like this. So my background's white on my lower time frame at the moment. Really nice sell trade at the London session today on British Pound AUD. Okay, beautiful cross here, sold off, and we're now kicking back to the upside. Okay, but that sell was beautiful during London, and also on Pound JPY, it's still continuing actually. So we had a nice collapse, the British Pound during the London session. It's been mimicked, exacerbated. It's been magnified, I guess is the best word, on the AUD and JPY crosses. Gold, okay, sitting here. I just tentatively put this trade in. I'm looking for a short on this time frame. I'm looking at the 5 minute here. I'm looking for a short coming into the open, seeing what news looks like. We've got no major news. Actually, just quickly check the news out. We've got PMI at 9:45 a.m. Okay, PMI at 9:45 a.m. And then tomorrow we're going to have CBC consumer confidence, and as of on Wednesday and Thursday we've got 8 a.m. news with FOMC on Wednesday as well. So if you look at the whole week, FOMC is on Wednesday. It's going to put a lot of volatility and movement into the market. And then we've got core durable goods and all that stuff at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday, and some more on Friday. So index trades for the next 2 days for me, and then trading news from 8 a.m. from Wednesday onwards. But yeah, at the moment, looking to see what gold does. It seems to be pushing back to the upside, crossing over here. We are in an uptrend, a strong uptrend on gold at the moment. You can see how the bands look. But I'm looking to see what happens at the open here. Might get a little bit more of a sell-off down to this area of demand, and then eventually push back up later in the week, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, and a big push come FOMC. So for this session, I'm going to be mainly looking at NASDAQ, seeing what happens at the index open with the 9:45 a.m. news. Looks like it's going to be a nice sell. Okay, maybe a little bit, it could be just a direct sell from here. See what happens, and hopefully get a nice ride like we had the other day on Thursday. It's a beautiful ride on NASDAQ on Thursday. Looking for that possibly today. It's very sold off. It's oversold, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to, if I sell it and it comes back and goes one of the other ways that price could move is it comes down here, dips into liquidity, then smashes back to the upside. So we'll see what happens with both those plays. US 30 is teetering around the top here, so we'll see what happens. Might get another push to the upside at the open, but I dare say we're looking at some selling. The way that this river looks, the way that this trend looks, is very, very oversold at the moment, so it's very high, and we might get a nice sell back down to this area of demand, down around here. Okay, that's what we could be looking at. So something like that. But yeah, that's Monday, 24th. We'll be having an analysis every single day moving forward, and look forward to seeing private students in the live trading tonight, which I'm going to be doing every single day for the next 2 weeks as we immerse ourselves in the new flow scalping strategy. So cheers. I'll see you guys tonight. This morning around 9 a.m. ET, 9:15 a.m. ET. Cheers.